Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be walking you through my everyday makeup routine using exclusively the Essentials set from Details by Tati. I am so proud of these makeup brushes. You guys know I poured so much love into them. They are handmade. They are shaped to perfection to get you everything you need done with your makeup A to Z. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced makeup artist, everyone can get something out of these brushes, and we're focusing in on the Essentials set today. 7 brushes, that's all I used. I show you every detailed multiple use way that you can get the most out of this collection. And I also want to announce that we are having our first ever holiday bundle. I do have a savings opportunity for you guys that you do not want to miss out on, because this is not something that can stay. I cannot keep the prices this low. This is just for holiday. This will be good for 5 days. I am offering you guys all 3 sets. These retail at $133 a set for $2.99, free shipping even worldwide. So if you wanted the full meal deal, you wanted it for yourself, you wanted to gift give, you wanted to break it apart, however you want to look at it. I also want to let you guys know that first edition will be stamped on these. Now moving forward, a lot of people have asked for individuals. We are working on that, but they will not be stamped first edition. So if you wanted the collection first edition from Details by Tati, then you want to take advantage of this offering for holiday, and I hope you do. Everything will be in the description box below, so check it out. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, like what is she talking about? I already bought 2 sets, I already bought 1 set. I have you covered. Check your email, but make sure that you are using the code HOLIDAY25 to get the pricing down to $99.67. It's a little less than $100 is the way it works out with the discount code. And again, this is like the best I can do. Happy holidays, happy shopping. I hope you guys really take advantage of this and level up your makeup game. And now we're gonna hop to me doing my everyday moves plus. I have already primed. All the makeup will be listed and linked in the description box below. We did a little Issamaya and of course some Tarte. I am going to be keeping this a very natural, go-to everyday type of a look, but I am going to do just a tiny little bit of underpainting. I want to share with you guys the many different things that these brushes are capable of doing. So we're going to take the ES2 and sculpt just a tiny bit. We're going to go in with Saie for our contour today. Taking the thin end of the ES2, I'm just going to bounce this in here. So I have just a tiny bit of product right on that very sharp but soft to the touch tip. And we are going to do a tiny little bit of underpainting here. I don't do lip filler anymore, but I like to have a fuller looking pout. It's like I'm lining my lip, but I'm just like pressing right on that outer edge, lay down the thinnest little bit of an outline. And when you go over top of this with your foundation, it's gonna look like nothing is there. It's just gonna be a little teeny tiny bit of a shadow. No one will know. I'm gonna make my plastic surgery face and go down right like so. Tiny little line. Looks crazy now, will look fantastic later. I am not going to be sculpting out my already too chiseled cheekbones. My face is changing. I don't know, I feel like I have less fat in my face these days and I want it to look a little bit fuller. So me doing this business, no, we're taking a time out on that. But that does not mean that I don't want a snatched nose and fuller lips. Play with your makeup how you see fit. I'm just going to wipe this off. And honestly, the nice thing about these fibers, like look, that little bit came off quickly. I'll show you, this is a completely white, clean side. I'm not even taking brush cleaner. Nothing's coming off now. It cleans so easily if you just wipe down your brushes in between washes. I have already preloaded my glass palette with Doll 10 and Givenchy. I'm using almost a pump of each, which will be too much. This brush, the thing I want to scream from the rooftops, loud and clear, is that you need little product. Less is more. Paint it on. If you have areas where you want more coverage, that's when you go back in. I am always amazed at how this brush will just stretch your product and give you like the perfect amount of coverage without looking too crazy heavy. It's giving this thin amount of coverage. Now over my contoured areas, I am gonna use the other side of the brush because I don't wanna be pulling the contour. I'm just smoothing the foundation on the forehead, the cheeks, the larger areas of the face. And even I can get kind of down the neck a little bit. I try to avoid getting under the eye because I will be going in with concealer. This is where you wanna go bop, 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 bop with your brush. This side is also great to kind of get into your hairline a little bit. You don't want to not blend your product into your hairline. Something that a lot of people say as feedback with this brush is not only does it perform really well and save product and all of that, but it's just fun to use. And it is. It's really satisfying, like those ASMR, like when you see a cake being smoothed out or sand being smoothed out. There's something borderline relaxing about using this brush. Now we're going with the excess that's on this brush from pouncing and blending out on the face over the lips. You can't tell that I contoured them. But if I didn't contour them, you could tell. So a lot of the time when you see these makeup artist techniques like underpainting, you're like, what's the point? It's just being covered up with other makeup. No, it's giving this very subtle little bit of a shadow that makes the eye think that that shadow there is natural. Let's get the nose. Another marvelous thing about this brush, you can go on the nose. Like I'm literally getting in there. So if you have any issue getting foundation in this very difficult to foundation area, really, really good for tucking that brush in there and blending everything out to perfection. Another nice benefit with this is if you do your brows first, you can get really close to the brow and not have to worry about using a big brush or sponge ruining what you have done with your brows. So I love the edge of this to kind of get in those harder to reach areas. This brush I use, no exaggeration, every single day of my life. We're gonna go in with the fatter side and dunk into the Saie bronzer. And this still, like, I'm going from 1 to 1. I'm not being fussy with cleaning perfectly in between steps. I'm just going to take a little bit of the excess off on my hand. Yes, I use this for foundation, but everything's playing together. It's fine. The nice thing about these brushes is the way the fibers are, product releases very effortlessly. It does not gunk up the brush a ton, so you can really kind of go from one step to the next. Obviously, you still need to clean your brushes. At some point, you need to clean them, but I love that the product picks up and lays down. The ES5 was technically first a concealer brush that in my mind was more like an eyeshadow brush. It's really versatile, either or. You can use it to lay down a metallic shadow. You can use it for concealer, which is what we're gonna do today. Taking my Natasha Denona Hy-Glam concealer, I'm just gonna do a little dabble do ya right here and blend her out. Recently, ladies, because she's over 40 and has stopped the talks, I'm being so careful with my under eyes. So what I am doing, if you can see, I'm not going right here first with my concealer. I'm taking this brush and kind of almost pulling a thin amount of the product down. Now this is a very high coverage, thin concealer, which is something I really like about the formula. And I can kind of almost go up on the nose a little bit to give a little bit of a reverse contour as well. So this brush is really great for thinning out your concealer. Sometimes I like that Fuller Glam moment where I reach into my expansion set. There is that fingerprint brush, which everybody loves, which is fantastic. But what I wanted to do today was show you how to use the Essentials for a full face. It's just sometimes also we like options, right? And just take your actual finger and any creasing that's happening, I always like to, whether I'm using this brush or another brush, give a little pat down. This is giving a very natural, but still covered, still improved looking concealer situation. Probably gonna reach for both of these, Charlotte Tilbury underneath the eye, and then my Carslan powder that I'm so mystified by and love so much, you guys. It's ridiculous, I do love it. But I have found that I like to go in with a little bit of this powder first. Taking our ES3, this is gonna tuck in right here. It's more petite. This is a multi-use brush. We're gonna be able to pat, 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 and set that concealer. And then I like to go in with this one on the rest of the face. Yes, it's a brightening powder and it looks a little crazy at first, but the way that this powder makes you poreless and almost lineless, I don't know, it does something to really prevent creasing, and I love it. Go in here, here, and even on the lids is kind of like a little bit of a base. We're gonna go in with this big, fluffy, gorgeous ES1. You can use this to set the face with finishing powder, with loose powder. I like to use this with bronzer. I'm gonna go into my Hung Vanngo in Straightforward and just really load up the brush, tap off the excess. And this allows you to really delicately bronze up the face, the jawline, the neck. I love how soft this brush is. It's just a good one and done all over. If you had a tank top on, it's a different time of year, you can get the décolleté, the arms. It really can be used for a variety of different things. But bronzer is like for my everyday non-sculpting, just adding some warmth to the face. This is a really great brush to reach for. We're gonna give a little one of these and go into blush. The ES3, the same brush we used for powder, we are going to use on the cheeks. Going into my Ilia palette, you guys are hysterical with the comments on this one. Yes, I've been using it a ton. Yes, it is hard to open, but the product in here, I'm telling you it's worth it. So good. We're gonna go into this pink right here, load up this brush. It is a very sheer baked formula, so go into it knowing that. We're just going to use circular motions and really rosy up the high apple of the cheek. With your makeup, if you ever run into an area where you're like, oh, I got like a little bit too high with my blush, like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Go back in with your powder. You can just take the same brush, grab a little bit, and just get that edge, and it will dull it down. I don't care what people say. Like, honestly, there are a few people that are like, I can't see the blush when you use the Ilia palette. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? It gives you like potency, but delicate potency. I love this. And I'm actually gonna go into this bronzer too, because I just want a little more sheer something on the face as well. And this is like a bronzing finishing powder. So for those of us out there that have wrinkles and crinkles, this is a great palette. I'm gonna make myself crazy if I don't get something on my lips, because I just feel like I feel like I need a lip when I'm sitting here. So we're gonna go in with Wherever Walnut. And I have to say, there's something about the non-extreme formula. They are different. Wherever Walnut is available waterproof, it's available regular. I like the waterproof because it locks, but I like the regular because it's just a little bit of a better color. They're different colors. I'm not imagining things, it's just the truth. Better. I always feel more successful in life when I have my lips on. So we're gonna go in with a Dabble Do You of Creme de Nude from MAC, just like this much. We're going in with Lawless, because I was playing with these colors last night and I was like, you know what? This layered with that, topped with this would be like a great situation. And we're about to find out. This is Daisy Girl. I'm liking it. I'm liking my idea. Okay, we're gonna top this with a lip plumper because we're going for the juice. We're keeping the eyes today a little bit neutral, but we wanna be juicy and luminous and blended. We're going in with Patrick Ta. This is 2 cc's. I don't have that. I don't have any. So we're gonna rely on this gloss alone to add just a touch of sizzle and spice. And I'm gonna take the doe foot applicator and go from here all the way up to that edge, so that I have light reflecting right here. Also makes you look like you have a juicier pout. Then when this formula really kicks in, because it does, I can already feel it, it's going to circulate the blood in the lips and kind of va-va-voom everything. There's something about a full glossy pout that makes me feel like my makeup is complete and I don't really need anything other than maybe a little brow, a little mascara. So if you wanna really go for covered, clean girl, highlighted, juicy still makeup put together, I encourage you to do your face and lips first, because then you're gonna find that you don't maybe wanna go so heavy on the eyes. We're gonna go into some Makeup by Mario. This is the Ethereal Eyes palette. Now I'm liking this one more than the Ethereal Nature. I just think this is prettier. We're gonna go in with the Very Best crease brush from the Essentials kit. I can do a full complete eye look with just this brush. And that's what we're gonna do today. This is the ES4. She is tapered. She has a nice point. This is going to blend all over the lid if you want it. It's going to define the crease if you want it. When you press in and use circular motions, those fibers are gonna do all the blend work for you, and you're gonna come out looking like you had a makeup artist do your makeup, but it was really just you taking a couple seconds blending. This brush is the brush to level up your makeup game. Best crease brush. I'm obsessed. Let's just define things with this cute little transitional shade right here. I'm kind of getting this on the lid as well, just to deal with some of my veins that are showing through, and then pressing a little bit deeper into the eye socket itself and pulling back and forth. Now this is a more nudie, neutral, not very dark color, so I don't have to be too careful where I am placing the color down first. I'm just dusting and blending a little bit of it just about everywhere. And I am gonna go underneath the eye. You see that point? I can kind of tuck under my lower lashes and just, I like taking a whisper, a tiny bit of the excess. I have weird under eyes where sometimes I do shadow on the lower lash and it looks great. And then for some reason, other days it looks like, whoa, like what'd you do there? And like there's no returning. But I like this kind of a look where it's just like, again, I could just do mascara, we're done. But we are gonna continue because I wanna show you some of the capabilities of this brush. We're gonna go next door into this deeper shade, and I'm going to dip in that point. I don't wanna pick up too much product. I'm now gonna go exactly where I want the most saturation, right here, and start wiggling back and forth just on the outer area of my crease. Back and forth, and then I'll move it into circular motions. And it's just giving me like just enough definition without looking too super heavy. Now, if you want to pull this color all the way in toward the nose, you totally can. Typically, I recommend that people lay down their initial color on that outer portion of the eye and then go in. For me, I'm going to focus on the outer edge because I want my eyes to be more set apart. And now I'm going to take this little bit of excess and wiggle again. You'd be surprised that just doing this with the excess that's on there actually adds quite a bit of definition. Okay, we are now going to go even further, and we're just going to go a little bit lower this time and really get that outer edge. Do you see? So I'm not going up here, I'm going down here, but that point is getting right in the socket and laying down the color beautifully and blending it out without lifting or over blending. It's doing the work the right way. Blended to perfection. Repeating the process. I am now going to go into one of these toppers, but what I'm going to do is take my brush right here. I'm actually going to go into this shade. I'm going to get the product on the side of the brush. So it's loaded on the side. These fibers are picking up product beautifully. I'm going to lean back and just sweep a little bit even into the crease, just so we have like that wet reflection. I'm gonna go into the brighter one up top and now kind of focus this right in the center of the eye. And that is something that almost is only going to be seen as light is hitting you. It's going to look really beautiful in real life as light is kind of hitting that center point of the eye, but it looks like there's a little bit of sequining everywhere. So it's kind of like, what is she doing? Like, what is that blend? What is that? It just looks pretty. It doesn't look like there's a ton of demarcation between one color to the next if you use two different sequins, one more saturated in the center of the eye. To line the eyes today, I'm going to take a Longwear shadow stick from Bobbi Brown. This is in the shade Golden Bronze. I'm going to be able to kind of slop this on the lash line. We're going to go in with the ES6. This is the perfect brush to blend out your lash line, whether you are using a shadow stick or just shadow itself. You're going to be able to take that lay down that was kind of just like, whatever, just throwing it on, getting out the door, and really blend it out. And then I do, of course, like to kind of on that outer edge sometimes take a little bit of the excess, right on that lower lash line. Sometimes I feel like when a shadow stick or an eye pencil comes with that sponge tip blender, I'm not a fan because it can tug at your delicate eye, and you want something that has a little bit of softness to it. Like, this is densely packed, but it is so soft that it's not fully like tugging at my eye, which I don't recommend. I don't want any of you guys to do that when you're using a smudger. Like, literally, it's a nightmare when I see someone pulling their eye and going in with that hard sponge tip blender that we see so many times on the other end of a shadow stick or a pencil liner. And it has its place, I guess, but I just think the preference for the look of the blend and for saving your eye skin, which this is like delicate real estate, use a brush like this that is itty bitty, that is designed to blend product out beautifully. And here we are, a beginner could do this. I'm gonna fill in my brows with an old favorite, Brun from MAC. We're gonna take the ES7. This is intentionally firm. I do not recommend using this for your eyeliner. It is too firm. This is one of the brushes out of all 21, out of all 3 sets, that I do recommend exclusively using for your eyebrows. It's designed in a way to have a different fiber of firmness so that you can really get a very defined brow with realistic looking hair strokes. Just don't use this as eyeliner. So I'm gonna take the spoolie, which also is firm, because I hate a soft spoolie. Is like when someone shakes your hand and they're like this. Like, you need the firmness to pull those brow hairs up, to be able to see what we're working with, to be able to re-blend and reshape as we're working. You want it to have a little bit of extra firm. I like the way that is looking. I have a tricky brow situation right here at the front of my brow where I do like going in with a pencil. I'm gonna go in with NYX Powder Louder and just delicately fill that in and cheat a little bit of a shadow, but I don't want it to be too dark right here. So I'm just kind of grazing it over this area. And then what's nice is I can go back into my spoolie and kind of brush everything together. That's like such a major difference. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of back into a little bit of a darker brow ever since my Essence video. I was like, wow, I haven't done a dark brow in a minute. Like, I kind of look like I don't have brows in a lot of my videos. So tell me what you think. Are we liking this? I kind of like it. I am going to be darkening my hair soon because I always do at this time of year. I'm just like, I keep the highlights for summertime. And then the moment that I'm not outside and I'm losing the tan, I'm just like, let's go dark. But I kind of want to go more like chocolatey, like an ashy chocolatey. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. I'm getting my hair done in like a week. I've spot cleaned the ES4 and I'm going to go back in with a little bit of bronzer because I just want a little more of this. For a highlight today, we're gonna go in with a pinkier tone Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury, and we're sticking to this one set, so I'm gonna use the ES3, bam, 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 just grab the product on the side. So this is another interesting way that you can really maximize using your brushes, is where you're picking up the product, whether it's the tip of the brush, the side of the brush, that does matter. So I have the product on the side right here, and I'm just going to hit this area where I want it to look like light is just bouncing off of my cheek. Taking the excess on the nose, wiping this guy down really quickly. This also makes an excellent, excellent inner corner brush. We're just glossing up that inner corner. It takes 2 seconds. You can also hit right under the high point of the brow if you like. And this brush, by the way, can be used to put on spot concealer. I do that sometimes underneath makeup, depending if I'm in the mood, if I feel like I have more things to cover, if I have a hormonal breakout, something like that. Sometimes I do take that extra step and then go in with foundation on top of it. I'm gonna set the face before I mascara and lash. Little Laura Mercier, I'm loving this blurring setting mist, so good. I've also really been loving this new one from CoverGirl. Now this is not a tubing mascara, this is the CoverGirl Bond Mascara. It's nice, it gives you this nice fanned out effect that I find really, really pretty, and I just wanna show you guys. I love how this looks on the lower lashes. It's just not too intense. Sometimes an adjustment like getting a brown mascara just doesn't look so wham, like it just doesn't, it looks pretty, which is what I'm going for. I just want pretty makeup. This is not a full tilt, full glam look. So it's good to keep that in mind. We're ready for lashes. We're gonna go into 421s. Be sure to always take the glue off of your lashes. A lot of people forget this step and it makes a world of a difference. That little glue that attaches the lashes to the box, you wanna be very carefully pulling that off. I absolutely love how my makeup looks. I love that I was able to use exclusively the Essential set from Details by Tati. 7 brushes only to do a full fabulous face. What do you guys think? I also want to encourage you, don't forget, we are doing a sale for the holidays. This will be good for 5 days only, so you have to act fast. I'm going to remind you to check the description box and also check your email. Now, these sets are all equally fabulous. I'm going to be doing little breakdowns on each set, so you have the specialty and the expansion to look forward to as far as a tutorial goes. Let me know what kind of look you want to get into, but I do just want to reiterate, $133 is the original pricing of these 7-piece sets curated by me, luxury handmade brushes. But right now we are offering all 21 brushes for $2.99 with free shipping, and that includes worldwide shipping. Now, if you have purchased before and you're like, Tati, I already have 2 sets, I already have 1 set, you can use Holiday 25 and you are gonna be saving about 25%. It's a great discount. This is just for holidays. I cannot keep this pricing, but I wanted you guys to have an opportunity to expand your collection or get a great deal on buying the whole dang thing. First edition is still available, and as we move into singles, we will no longer be stamping them with first edition. So if you wanna have that as your set, as your everyday brushes, which these are perfect everyday brushes, then be sure to take advantage of the deal that we have going on for a limited time. And other than that, you guys, go and have a great day, whatever you are doing. I love you so much. Every bit of information is in the description box. Go visit that site. Go have a good one, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.